Good morning. TGIF. Good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch, down here in the corner. Over here. How are you? How are you? Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. Watching Kilts over there on the monitor. Looks like he's finishing up. So I think it's time for us to break away. How many people we got here so far this morning? Says I got 36. A few stragglers are still hanging in over there. I'm sure they'll be here. And good to see you all. Good to see you all. So we'll go over to me. It's me, Mitch. God, I need a new chair. This chair is 40 years old, and the wheels don't roll very well. It's good to see y'all. Good to see everybody this morning. Let's get the first order of business out of the way with some blues in the background, and that would be, say it with me, drink it if you got it. Oh, wow. All right. And I think we should fade the music out into the background here. And there you go. Good to be here this morning. Always good to be here in the morning. Actually slept till 5:30 this morning, which wow. And I have a morning routine, went through it. First order of business today. We had a live stream last night. It was a great live stream, private community live stream. One of the best. And got a screenshot of it here. I apologize if any of you have stupid expressions on your face. I wanted to thank everybody for being in the panel last night with us. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger here. Full screen. Yes, there you go. Well, that's not the answer either. So let's go back to this and say theater mode. That's what I want. Okay, too many buttons, too many choices. We had a panel last night. It was a full house, first time, new milestone for the Thursday night live stream for the private community. And what a ball that we had. And I've always been remiss in recounting who was there. And I felt bad about like forgetting that Tuca was there. Now he wasn't there last night, but I thought I'd put up from the replay that we can get if you're in the private community. And believe me, this is not a pitch to join the private community. It's not about the money. It's not about anything. It's about what a great time we have together. And I really would like to do more of that and include a lot more people. But unfortunately, the way Google works is you got to be a member. I set the price almost as low as as you're allowed to on Google. But it's $3.99 a month. And I know some people can't afford it and don't want to do that. And I understand, and I think none the less of you. But I can tell you what, if you value community, there's nothing like it. Nobody else is listening. We can open up. We talk about almost everything except carnivore, but we sometimes talk about carnivore. Conversation lately seems to be steered towards cats. It seems like everybody but me's got a cat. But let's say, who was there last night? There was me. And then Peter. And then rockin' Coach Amy. Amy was there. Rick was there. Juliet was there. Spanky. Golf Addict was there. CB Carmack was there. Lewis was there. Greg Smith. And last but not least, Gary Noslow. And we had a ball. Went for an hour and a half. And I think I look forward to that live stream more than anything. I like my morning live streams, but we just had a ball. So I want to thank everybody for being there. And the order of business that I'm talking about right now is, and I don't know if I do this with hesitancy or not, but I have decided, and it was Peter's suggestion, that I said, okay, let's see what happens. Peter volunteered to be a moderator on this channel, and I only have one moderator now, and that's Ellen. And she really doesn't moderate anymore, but I'm not going to take it away from her. So I said, Peter, I have decided to make you a moderator on this channel. And I thought that we'll forego the fanfare sound effects, but I am going to do that here in front of Peter and everybody. So I'm going to click on one of Peter's. If you look at my mouse over here in this chat, I'm going to click on one of Peter's chats, and I'm going to go down here to the bottom. Well, let's see. I could hide Peter. I could put Peter in a timeout. Or I can add him as a moderator. I got to be very careful because they got these two very close. And if I happen to have a slip of the mouse, because after you hide a user, trying to find him again and unhide him is a chore. So I'm going to click on add as a moderator. And it says managing moderator standard. I'm going to make him a standard moderator. Because I told Peter, I said, the only fear I have, Peter, my friend, is adding you as a moderator is that you will hide me. So I'm going to add him as a standard moderator and hit save. So Peter should now turn blue and have a wrench. So Peter, give it a shot. Peter says, Mitch, are you sure you really want to do this? Well, I just did it, Peter. So there it is. There it is down at the bottom of the chat. There is blue wrenched Peter. It's an honor, Peter. Treat this with care. And I know if anybody can ride herd, although they say you can't herd cats, and that's what so much of our conversation seems to turn to, you're the guy that can do it. And I know that Peter is not going to miss anything in the chat like I do, because I'm not concentrating solely on that. I'm concentrating on being handsome, good looking, entertaining, humorous, ranting, and other things. So Peter's going to be looking out, and Peter's job is not to replace me as a source of information on the show. That's my show. But Peter is going to, any trolls that come in, he's going to knock that right in the bud. Anybody that strays a conversation into areas he thinks will trigger me, he's going to make sure I don't see it. This is an investment for me in my future calm and stress-free live streams. Trying to keep it on topic, to talk about why we're here, to talk about our health problems we may be having, to get motivated, to be among friends, to enjoy the community, and stay away from the people that think they're going to use this as a platform or a soapbox to keep blasting their agenda, usually one that disagrees with my agenda, at all of us. So not only is this, I think, protective for me, I think it's going to be protective for a lot of the rest of us that just get annoyed by some people constantly pushing their narrative, whatever it happens to be, whether they're vegans, whatever the narrative. We've heard it all. You'll never change our minds. Those of us, you're probably, if you could have your mind changed, probably not here. Probably not here anyway. And far be it from me to go looking for you to bring you here. Because as you know, I really don't care. I really don't care what you think. So, there you go. Okay, I'm back to my stream over here on the screen so I can monitor what's happening. Congratulations, Peter. And besides that, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for helping. Thank you for helping. And I did warn Peter, because you know that it took me a while to get to trust what Peter's motives are, and I fully trust Peter. But I did caution him yesterday. Be careful, Peter. I can unmoderate you as fast as I moderated you. So I think it's going to work out. And no, one of the people last night said, does Peter get to stay in the penthouse? If you remember, Ellen, I had a penthouse where Ellen sat up there in the corner. No, because I was looking to Ellen real time to say, you got a question, you got a question, you got a question. And Peter can always get my attention by putting an entry in the chat with the @OldGuyCarnivore, where it shows up in red on my screen. And that should grab my attention. Should grab my attention. So that's a big announcement for this morning. And what else? I had nothing else really but to thank everybody for being there last night, for having a great time. I was so tired at 8:30 because I go every morning very early. I didn't take a nap yesterday or anything. Then I actually forgot to create this live stream, and I want to thank Brian Dish, who at 5:30 in the morning sent me an email saying, I can't find this morning's live stream. So my first order of business when I got up, before I even put the coffee on, was to come in here and create the live stream so that it would be there for anybody that went looking. So because of that, I have no pre-chat from last night, because obviously there couldn't be. But this morning, Brian Dish was the first one in. So obviously it worked, and he found it. And thanks again, Brian. Gina Calf followed him shortly thereafter. Loretta Nadal, hi, how are you this morning? At 6:08 a.m., Smoothie came in. John, how are you? Manny Beddoes, morning, lovely Mitch. Oh, shucks. Andy Beddoes says, coffee clubbers, yes, that's us. And Ketone Seeker has just gifted 5 memberships to the private community. And Ketone Seeker, thank you so much. That is generous and helpful in more ways than you could imagine, because I would love nothing more I would love nothing more, I'll tell you this, than to have to ditch StreamYard for the private community because of the fact that we're limited to only 10 windows. And anyone who wants to join in the panel, once those 10 windows are full, we'll get a message back says, there's basically no room in the green room, try again. And I would have to go and buy a relatively expensive Zoom subscription like Kiltz has, which would probably cost almost as much, if not as much, as the total amount of money I might get paid from that monthly fee for the private community, which is insignificant at best in the overall scheme of things for me. And I would do that. I would take every penny generated by any small monthly charge that YouTube would charge. Now, you still need YouTube because they're the ones that allow you to maintain the private community, and to try to set up something like KMT with a separate website and all that would require just an enormous amount of work. And I don't have big plans like Kiltz has for Kiltz Health, and it's an investment that's worth it for him. But for me, at least I could go on to Zoom and basically almost have everybody that wants to just come in and join the conversation to do that. I'm not ready for that yet, but we'll see if it grows. If it doesn't grow, we'll keep it just like it is. And if more than 10 people want to come in, we'll just cycle through it. So some people might not just sit there through the whole panel and just bow out and let somebody else in. We'll see. But we have John Svoboda got gifted a membership. Believer 238 got gifted. Just a storm in a teacup, I recognize that. Robert Wall and Carnivore Dude. We need more dudes in there. Well, no, we need more gals in there, actually. But welcome. Josephine C. comes in and says, beautiful. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Sometime today, I will update this list. Let me show it to you what I'm talking about. On the homepage of the OldGuyCarnivore website, and this was last updated August 23rd. It's a lot of work to update this. I do it probably once a month. But now we have, between yesterday and today, 15 new channel memberships that were gifted. How many of them actually stick around is statistically maybe one or two of them will really enjoy it. But at least they're in introduction. And then I have a list of all of our channel members, and there they are. And you don't realize how many of them there are until I see this list. And I have to update it, and I'll do that today. So thank you so much. If you're a member of the community, I hope you enjoy it. I can't imagine people would continue to stick around if they weren't getting something out of it. I get something out of it, and I keep it going. I would like to do more for the private community if it was up to me. And I didn't have to play the YouTube game. My entire presence would be a private one behind some kind of a low-cost paywall. So I would just have to deal with those people that wanted to be here with me, and it'd be a lot less stressful, but it's just not set up that way. So wanted to say that. Let me get back to this. Let's see. Barry Simon, my good buddy. Hiya, Barry. How you doing? Good to see you this morning. And Barry says, click the thumbs up button 6 times. Okay. I don't think I'd let you do that. Thank you, Barry. Thanks so much. Mike Silly Sr. chimed in at 6:25. Lady June Lorraine McDermott's here. How you doing, Lorraine? Good to see you this morning. Himself, Friday, the day before Mitch's day off, and yes, I have my day off tomorrow. I will probably be making YouTube videos. So YouTube looks in my direction again and doesn't think I disappeared because I went a few days without making a video. Jumped off that treadmill for a minute. Kurt is here, Meathead. Hi, Kurt. How you doing? Kurt was in the chat last night. And Aaron is here. Good morning, sweetie. How you doing? Drink it if you got it. Okay, drinking game. Happy to do it. Who else we got here? Francine Bourgeois from Montreal. Cool, 48 degrees. Wow. Lucky you. That's a problem. Here in Florida, it's like, be careful what you wish for. You might get it. But when it gets so hot up in the north, and then all of a sudden you get that first school day, you might have been wishing for it. And I can tell you assuredly, you're going to get it sooner or later. No doubt about that. CB is here. CB was with us last night. I love CB. How you doing? Man? Good to see you from Tuscumbia, Alabama. Wow. Is that Tuscumbia? Did I pronounce that right? Or is there some unrecognizable pronunciation for that? Juliet is here. Juliet was with us last night. Wow, it was so great. It was so great to see you. We had two of all the men. We had two ladies, and it was just great. That's great. I don't know what happened to Tina last night. I didn't see her in the chat. And Kurt says, question, Mitch, where's the buy me a coffee link? Well, I try not to be too, I have to play the beggar too much, but since you ask, and I now have an excuse to post it, just for you, Kurt, I will I'll put the link in there. That's great. That's great. And here it comes. Yes, sir. And I will pin it. Pin the message at the top of the chat. I have that power too. God, so much power and responsibility wielding it. Ampy wants you to make more shorts on YouTube, says Peter. See, Peter got my attention with that. Thank you, Peter. I don't make shorts. I don't like the concept of shorts. Shorts were encouraged by TikTok. I despise TikTok. I think that these types of videos with text blasting all over the place, drilling a message in a quick period of time into your head, allowing no time for any critical thinking or reflection on the message. I think the only benefit of shorts is to sell more shit to more people in a shorter period of time as the eventual goal. The goal of most carnivore YouTubers that make shorts is to direct people to their long-form videos, lest this become a TikTok, which is an absolute wasteland of nonsense, in my opinion, with an occasional worthwhile thing thrown in. But when you have to sit there all day, next, you're just absorbing propaganda and trivia at an alarming rate, addicting yourself to scrolling, and I despise it. And I made one short where I was wearing just to try it out and see what happened. I have one short on my channel, and that has me standing there with my Carnivore Pyramid t-shirt. That was over 2 years ago. And it's still there, and people still see it. But I refuse to do it. It's just not my style. I'm a long-form, old-school guy that wants to have meaningful conversations. And if I'm going to try to impart some of what you feel is wisdom from me, and I'm proud that people think so, or knowledge, I want to do it at a pace where it almost requires people to sit down, slow down. I don't chop half of my videos out just for brevity. I'm interested in people that want to take some time, relax, and think, not just absorb. Because the brainwashing comes from the stuff that's crammed into you that you absorb. It's harder to brainwash somebody who's a critical thinker and has to consider the validity of what you said. And that's deep thinking. It's disappearing. And I think some of us that are left here on YouTube have to promote that into the future and not just fall into the tech company idea of how we're supposed to learn, sitting there bleary-eyed in front of the screen with things flashing in our face and words being driven into our subconscious, thinking about nothing, just absorbing. So, no shorts for me, sorry. But thank you for asking. Slow down a little bit is my advice. Peter chimed in 658 Carnivore. Coach Eden's, yes, Juliet was back, and Larry Ryan chimed in, and who was the first at 7 o'clock? Could it be in the last 3 or 4 days it's been Robbie Autry? We'll see. Mudboat is here, and everybody's saying hi to everybody else. 658, Brian B. Matt chimed in, and 658. Kurt says, everyone listen up. Listen up, get your seats, get your coffee, tea, and other guilty pleasures in hand. Class is about to begin. Yes. And Peter agreed, and 659, Aaron was back, and who haven't I said hi to yet? Brian Dish got back here. The class mentor, Kurt, is telling everybody, be quiet, and as if there was any doubt. The man is unbeatable. I'm sorry. Sorry, my friends. Got it figured out. Congratulations. Robbie Audrey did it again, 7 a.m. Thanks for playing. And let's see who else is here. Marla Kelly is here at 7. How you doing? Loretta, Meathead, Peter chime back in at 7. At 7 a.m. We'll get through this. Amy gave it a shot. Peter gave it a shot. I'm not a moderator yet. Well, we took care of that first thing, Peter. I kept looking for an entry from you in the chat while you were on Kilts, but I didn't see one in my chat. And of course, I can't do anything when in Kiltsy's chat, so that's when I decided to make a big event out of it this morning. So you were on my mind. I didn't forget you. The only way I can make you a moderator is to start at one of your chat entries and get the menu up. So there may be another way to do it, but I thought it'd be a cool little bit for this morning's entertainment value, which I try to have. Dixie Scott's here this morning. How you doing? Brendan McIntyre. Lori, hiya, Lori, sweetie. How you doing? We have arrived. Yes, we have. And Lady June is here from England. Gary chimed in. How you doing, Gary? At first at 7:01. So that'll get us through the chat. And you guys can direct the conversation anywhere anywhere you like. I see Steve Rogers chimed in 5 minutes later. Da da da. Superhero from Kansas City. Juliet says, my first Mitch panel, so fun. It was fun. It is fun. It is fun. Sometimes even I get a little off color. And I told the funny, I thought was the funniest story about my experiences with Dr. Joshi, the urologist, last night. And I thought that was a pretty funny story. But it required me to, I don't want to say not be, let's just say that I told people to get the children out of the room first, or anyone who is so sensitive, put your fingers in your ears, because that's the beauty of private live stream. We can all be exactly who we are without having to be so cognitive constantly of censoring ourselves so as not to offend the too easily offended. We've gotten ourselves into that. How do we get out of it? That's the question. Rick chimed in. How you doing, Rick? Good to see you this morning. And Josephine, I saw you earlier. How are you? Gary said hi to you. CB is here. And Peter gave me one last out. That was funny. Give me one last out. He said, are you sure you want to do this? Well, I can take it away anytime, but I really believe you. And then Peter just said, I'm trying to help Mitch as best I can. And I believe that. I believe that. You know, it's hard to, in a world of 100 or so close to 100% self-serving people, you can't blame them for being self-serving. That's one of the prime rules of nature that we are all born with. We have to put ourselves first. How could we survive? Our world was not always like this, where we actually didn't have to worry about actual survival on a minute-by-minute basis. We had predators hunting us. We had challenges of finding food. Not too hard these days to find a 7-Eleven. But we're still instinctually have that in us. So most of what we see in society is the agenda of self-serving people, wanting money and power, both of which really help you survive. If you're in charge and rich, your odds of surviving are way above the average guy. And that's built into all of us. So we become cynics. And we say things to each other like, what's your angle? What's in it for you? Because we just can't believe that somebody could actually be nice. And we're most often right. And over a lifetime of dealing with people that have done nothing but hurt me and steal from me, after telling me they're here to help me, I become more of a cynic than most. So it takes a lot for me to open my mind enough to recognize pure motives or the absence of motives and just a desire to help. And it took me a while with Peter, but I got to know Peter, and I believe Peter is, he certainly has his own motives for doing things, but when Peter says he would like to help, I believe him. I believe him. It just took time to get there. And I could never believe that about a person until I really got to know him. And I've gotten to know Peter over a couple of years. We've been together in chats, and we've had meetups together, and I've watched him, and I just, honestly, God, I just don't see him, I don't see a selfish motive other than helping makes him feel good. And there always has to be something in it for a person always has to be something in it. But that appears to be what Peter gets out of it. And he does that for Kilts and Curry and other people. And I said, there's nothing about Peter that would scare me. People are buying me coffees this morning. Thank you. Let's see what we got here. We have, make sure I thank everybody. We have 12th of September. Wow, well, we have, holy cow. What's wrong with you guys? My God. Buckle in, guys. Buckle in. Juliet. Carnivore Eden's Coach Juliet bought me 5 coffees. Thank you so much. I said that. Was that yesterday? I said, oh, thank you, Juliet. That would be my answer. Thank you, Juliet. But Juliet says, thank you. Exclamation point, Juliet. Thank you so much. And then she bought another 3 coffees. Double thank you, Mitch. Juliet. It's above and beyond. Wow, thank you so much. Ketone Seeker. Just for you, Mitch. 5 coffees. That is so wildly generous of you. Especially since you just donated 5 memberships to the channel. Wow. Don't I feel appreciated. And Kurt, 5 coffees. Kurt, thank you so much, my friend. Smoke them if you got them. I'm going to do that right after this live stream. I'm going to go out on my back porch. I'm going to start my day off immediately after this live stream. I'm not saying I'm not going to work during my day off. I don't know. Take my day off, and I'm going to sit down and relax and just feel good about everything. Because that's the best thing I can do for my health. Wow, it keeps going off. Holy cow. I have to thank Kurt for that. He's the one that suggested I put the link up there. And I don't expect this every day, guys. Please believe me. But it's so gratifying when it happens. I truly do love all of you. If you could think of any other reason why I've been hanging around for a couple of years doing this with the things about it that bother me, you got to know that I would terribly miss it if I were to make a snap decision and just hit that delete button on YouTube that wiped it all out. And you can do that with one click of your mouse. If you have a YouTube channel, I don't care how big. Ken Berry can do it. Ken Berry can sit down at YouTube and say, cancel and delete this channel. It'll give you 2 or 3, are you really sure's? But eventually you hit the button. You get a warning says, if you hit this button, every video, every subscriber, everything you've built over all of these years will be gone forever and irretrievable. Are you really sure you want to do this? And if you hit that button, you say goodbye to everything that you spent all those years building. And I can't imagine there isn't a YouTuber that has been doing this as long as I have since 2018. That's YouTube suicide. Hasn't thought about committing YouTube suicide once or twice because of what they keep doing to us. The most egregious of those things for us, unfortunately, is they've been forced by the money and power of the drug and food companies and the lobbyists and the religious Adventists and all of them. They've been pretty well forced. They've been threatened, extorted. The message that the management of YouTube says is, hey, guys, we're the food and drug companies. We make our living selling these people. We're the medical community. We make our living. The sicker people get, the more money we get. We're also, if in case you've forgotten, one of your biggest sources of revenue. Biggest source. You understand what I'm saying? The billions of dollars we pour into your little companies in form of advertising revenue every year. And what do you do to us? You're allowing this little pissant bunch of carnivores to say that we are no good and we can't tolerate that. So unless we see And if you guys think I'm making this up, you're naive. Unless we see that you're doing something proactively to minimize the spread of their message, which is contrary to all of our well-intentioned efforts to basically make the American people more healthy. Unless you see that, well, I'm afraid, Mr. YouTube, we're just going to have to take our advertising dollars somewhere else. But this is not a threat, not a threat, but could happen. So we're just saying to you, wink, wink. Maybe you might want to give us promoting these carnivore lunatics, because after all, I mean, it's not about the money. We care. We care about people's health, and we know that meat's killing them. We're not doing this because of our selfish interests, Mr. Google. We're doing this because we truly care about the health, and it pains us terribly when we see a bunch of fad, cultist, lunatic carnivores spreading their message of health and not letting us be the ones that help them. As much as it would pain us, we would simply have to take our football and go home. And that is, my friends, the clearest and most obvious way that I can think of to explain what goes on in every media outlet, social media, boardroom, Google, YouTube, and everywhere else. And even in government, even in the government agencies. Do you think any food company is calling RFK Jr.'s office saying, "Hey, RFK Jr., we love what you're doing. We'd like to help support your re-election campaign," even though he wasn't elected. But that's how they do it. Well, why don't we start out small? Why don't we send you a check for, say, I don't know, $500 million? No strings attached, honest, nothing. We don't want any quid pro quo from you, but we just so appreciate, because you're helping so many people, we want to give you this $500 million. And then when a single ruling comes out that they're not happy with, they say, "Hey, remember that $500 million we gave you?" And they come up with some reason why to threaten him with, "You may never get any more from us if you keep doing that." And before you know it, one thing is to another, bing, bang, boom, they own the government. And the message never changes. And this is the reality of how humans act when you give them a little bit of power and a ton of money. And the ones that don't succumb to the temptation of all that money and power don't stand a chance. They are canceled so fast. The entire establishment turns against them. One blaring example of that is a man named Donald Trump. Look what they tried to do to him because he wouldn't play ball with their corruption. That's the truth of it. And anybody that hates Trump now basically has been brainwashed by these very same people that are killing you. That's my opinion. I think I got a lot of evidence to back that up. Never has the government, law enforcement, been turned against an individual like they tried at every level, state, local, federal, to put Donald Trump in jail for something that he never did, like being a Russian spy. So that is the world we live in. How did I get off on this one? But I was talking about wanting to make Peter a moderator. Well, I can see how that all relates to that. Can't you? At any rate, I'm not. I mean, I meant those things that I said, and I don't hear a lot of people saying them. But start thinking about things like that. Mitch put Peter in timeout first. I should feel it easy, Gary. Yeah. Okay. And Peter, have you seen any questions for me? If you have, now's the time. Put them in the chat. I'll see them. I'll see them when they come up. Peter, I'm sure that you're going to help me. It's Friday. It's a great day. I was in the process of thanking people for buying me coffee, so let me not forget that. Kurt, smoking as you got them. 25. Thank you, Francine B. Bonjour, Mitch. There can't be a better start in the morning than coffee with you. Francine bought me a coffee. Thank you so much, Francine. And Gary, long overdue. Still appreciate you. Thank you, Gary. You know I appreciate all you guys and all your cats too. Even though I don't want a cat, I still appreciate you, all your cats. Thanks so much, Gary. And Jeff Johnson, the name you know, bought me three coffees. Simple. I love your message and want to keep this going. Look forward to you every day you're on. Jeff, you're a prince. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And that, my friends, is where I think I got them all. And I'll keep an eye on it because wow. So what you're saying is you really don't think I'm such a bad guy. That's great. That's great. Oh man, I showed this last night. I don't know, Peter. Any questions there? I'm looking for Peter because I'm going to see these. If somebody puts at OldGuyCarnivore in the chat, it lights up like this. See the red there? And the one that Aunt B, the idea was to say yourself. See, I'll see it. Except if I'm in the middle of a big diatribe like I just finished. But yeah, no, I agree, B. I agree. It does help. It does help. Maybe help you sell yourself. But what happens is as you start doing more and more of these shorts, you end up doing more and more work. Most people have staffs that just generate these things by the hundreds. The ad revenue is a tenth of a percent of what you might get on the non-existent revenue you already get on your so it's not worth it there's no money in it. You have to do it solely to promote a long form video and link it to it, and that takes too much work. I don't like the idea. There may be some benefit to it. My main priority is not to attract subscribers and grow the channel. Because with growth just comes more confusion, more chat, more comments. I'd rather, not that I don't want new subscribers, I'd rather see a turnover. You don't get paid for subscribers. I don't care how many you have. It doesn't mean anything to you, other than maybe a little bragging rights. I got 17 quadrillion subscribers. You don't. You know, that may be it, but who cares? Who cares? That's like living in the biggest house. May have seemed important to you at one time, but after a while you realize you're still the same person stuck in the same life with the same problems, and now you've added the problem of paying for this big house on top of it. We all look for that magic thing that makes life worth living, and I've tried that all my life and spent a fortune doing it and never found it until I stopped trying to find it and just settled for the way it was and decided to make the best of what I was left with. And then I finally started to be able to be happy and content. It's amazing how that works. Without the yachts, without the mansions, without the airplanes. Just with this coffee cup. Unfortunately, most of we human beings don't discover that until we're near the end, when you start to reflect and look back and gain some wisdom. And I look back at the things I did in my life, My favorite expression is, God, if I only knew then what I know now. But you can't. It's an impossibility. You can't know then what you do now. You haven't lived it yet. You have to live it, experience it, get beat over the head by it. And maybe, if you're open-minded enough, some of it might sink in, but mostly it doesn't. It just gets worse. It gets worse as we get older. So, B, appreciate it. I know you guys want the best for me, so Sandy Bai says, and B, so sorry. What happened to B? I missed that. And Peter's telling people to buy me coffees. Thank you, Peter. What happened to Peter? You still here? I haven't seen an entry from Peter since 7:39. Wow. Maybe Peter went away. Don't know. Did I say something to piss Peter off? Peter, where are you? Where are you, my friend? She has a sick critter. Oh, okay, thanks. Thanks, Navy. Appreciate that. Sorry to hear that, B. Sorry to hear that. Carnivore Whisper is here. Says, hi, Kurt. Lewis, Peter answered all of the questions and left. There he is. There he is. Peter is back. Peter, you disappeared. You're trying to moderate too many channels at once, but that's okay. If you've got a question for Mitch, please put QQQ in front of your question and ask away. Yeah. Thank you, Peter. Who else is live right now? I don't know. It might be somebody. At any rate, God, 7:51 already. I got 7:13 in the chat. I'm going to scroll down real quick and see what questions I missed. Bear with me a second. There's one at Meathead. Kurt said, where's the Buy Me Coffee link? Thank you. Thank you, Kurt. That was a good idea. Oh, here's a Cheryl Furstenberger. Good morning from Philadelphia. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. I'm from Philadelphia, so say hi to the big city for me. Welcome, welcome. And Lori, you got me. You know me. Mitch doesn't like shorts. Yeah. Truer words have never been spoken. And I have good reasons why. A lot of people don't like shorts. And there's another added thing about shorts. Is if you start putting out a lot of shorts, YouTube treats you like a whole different kind of YouTuber. And there's a new consideration in the mix, which is which format generates more advertising revenue for them. And if your shorts start generating more advertising revenue somehow for YouTube, they won't for you. YouTube's not sharing that money. But if they generate more profit for Google and less for you, and you're the poor YouTuber trying to grow your channel, they will prioritize your shorts over your long form videos. And you'll notice that your overall revenues on YouTube will drop as their revenues from your efforts increase, which is their main goal, to dig their hand deeper and deeper into your pocket and work you to death and figure ways to pay you less and less, all the while sending you emails saying, we've created this opportunity for you to make more money, and keeping you on the treadmill. They are slave masters, these people, using the ultimate in technology to refine exactly how to keep you playing. I'm not the first to notice this. There are hundreds of videos from those crew of people on YouTube that tell other YouTubers how to succeed on YouTube that warned of this years ago when this whole shorts thing started as a way to compete with the fact that TikTok was cutting into their profits. And in reality, just like so much in life, none of them, no matter what they say, are out to help anybody but themselves. We all play because we help ourselves a little, we make a little money, but the rock star dreams are reserved for only a very few people, and that's true in most fields. Music, entertainment, and a few people make huge money, and the rest of us, we're out there, fighting each other off for the rest. The scraps, the table scraps. That's brilliant. Brilliant, ZB. I can get Tina Schreikerath to knit me more shorts. Yes, I could ask her. I don't watch shorts either. But I notice on my YouTube feed, I'm presented more and more shorts over time. I get a row of shorts come across. Every third or fourth row of recommendations, and it used to be every 10th row, then every 9th row, now it's every third row. Pretty soon I'll be getting 2 rows of them in a row. Must benefit them somehow. Or they wouldn't be doing it. I'm make shorts, and there's nothing wrong with shorts. I'm not saying you shouldn't make a short. I'm just telling you why I don't. I would rather sit and have a conversation where everybody's thinking and considering and slow down and gets off the treadmill for a little while and relax. And B says, I'm addictive. Thank you. Yeah, and there's another thing. I'm not enjoying the new pop-up ads during live chats. I didn't even know that was happening until one of you emailed me and said, "Do you know this was happening?" I don't see them because I'm not watching these things on my cell phone, and I think that's primarily a cell phone thing. But I got to the point now where I can't click on any news article on my cell phone because it's going to take me to a website where it's impossible to even follow the thread of whatever the story was, because you read a paragraph and then an ad pops up in a window and you got to close that window and go back, try to find where you were in the story. And it gets so cumbersome, I just said, hell with it. I'm not playing this game. It's all about advertising. I'm an Amazon Prime member. I'm supposed to get ad-free movies. On your life. Now I have to pay extra to not be presented the ads. And that's going to get worse. And it's never going to turn around until people stop playing. Barry Simon, the only shorts Mitch is interested in, what is that? Is interested, SOED in laugh. Yeah. I think I know what you mean, Barry, although your typing is right up there on a par with mine, I'm afraid. Right here. These are my shorts. You see that? Let me get that out of the way. A comment. There they are. These are my shorts. You see them, you know them, you love them. And if anything, maybe I'll take a little of that coffee money today and buy myself another couple pair of these. And then I can truly say I have increased the amount of my shorts activity. No, I don't like it. I will not watch TikTok. I just won't do it. I wouldn't subscribe. I canceled. I had accounts with LinkedIn, accounts with Instagram, accounts with. I have one account now on social media, and that's with Twitter or X. But I don't ever go on there and chat it up or respond to anything. I kept that one as a way to just to be able to promote my YouTube efforts, and I don't even do that anymore on there. I could cancel it. Nobody missed me, and I wouldn't miss them. I have no Facebook. None. Now, it's detrimental these days. So much of our interaction with family and friends is in Facebook groups. So much of our commerce is in the Facebook marketplace. What used to be classified ads in the paper to sell your old dining room table is now Facebook marketplace. They've taken over. I wouldn't support Facebook for the simple reason that I don't trust Mark Zuckerberg as far as I could throw him and the rest of the thousands of people that work there at the same time. I think these people are despicable, greedy, do enormous harm, have no conscience, very misguided and self-delusional people who actually think they're doing something good for the world. That's my opinion. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to ditch nature and the world and intellectual pursuits and thought for participating in the mad circus that is social media. I do the YouTube thing, but I do it at my pace. My videos are long enough to say what I need to be said, and I could probably get more views if I made them shorter. There's a million rules of things you should do to just make more money on YouTube. I don't follow any of them. I don't care. I want to deal with people that want to do it the way we've been doing it. And since YouTube's the only way that I can have an audience, because I guarantee you, no big media outlet's going to hire me to do a morning show. I'm not pretty enough, number one. This is it. I love it. Peter says, Meathead just asked a question about potassium levels. Wow, on topic. Holy cow. Where is that question, Peter? Let's see if I can find it. Did it have QQQ in it? Meathead, Mitch, did you see that higher potassium levels reduce heart complications in patients? Study finds Fox News. Well, when I see a study, thanks for bringing that up. I hadn't seen that because I haven't been watching much news. I can't do it. 99% of the medical news you get on any media is the propaganda from the people that go against what we're saying. But every once in a while, there is a valid study. I would be curious as to who paid for that study and why. I'll look it up. But there's no doubt that potassium is very important, and there's also no doubt that the human race is very deficient in potassium. And anybody that ever gets a leg cramp at night, including me, that's usually more magnesium than potassium, but they're called electrolytes. Just like the battery acid in your car battery is also an electrolyte. Human beings are electric. We're electric, but we're battery powered. Electricity not only is the energy we use ultimately when, and I don't want to go into the lengthy biochemistry explanation of the electron transport chain, but the key word there is electron. And in the creation and use of ATP, the same types of things occur as when a battery creates a potential across electrodes. And that's what our mitochondria. Our mitochondria are little batteries, and we have hundreds of them in every cell of our body, and we are electric powered. The signals that stimulate our heartbeat and things are electric, which is why they can hook wires up to you and shock your heart when it stops and get it going again. They're not throwing water on you when your heart stops. They're jolting you with electricity. We are electric organisms. The electrolytes make the medium that the electricity can flow through. So we need them. A car battery would not work if you drained all the battery acid out of it. It couldn't possibly. It would become an insulator, not a battery. We're the same way. Most people don't make that connection or have never been taught that connection, but stop thinking about it, is that when your electrolyte levels get low, the electricity can't flow in you. Your heart can't beat. It just makes sense. So we have elaborate mechanisms in our physiology to regulate the levels of these electrolytes in our body. Some of the most tightly regulated substances we have. Salt is an electrolyte. It's sodium, potassium, magnesium. The reason you get cramps in your legs is because the signals can't flow and trigger the cells to do what you basically are unplugging yourself from the source of electricity if your electrolytes get low. So no shocker that low electrolytes aren't good for you. And it made the morning news. The thing that baffles me more than it made the morning news is that this isn't a given, and every human being on the planet Earth wasn't taught this in elementary school. And that it would take a study. Talk about knowledge of the obvious, my God. So electrolytes are very important. And because they're so important, and because all the animals that came before us and our ancestors didn't even know what electrolytes were. They had no idea what electricity was. They didn't know what atoms were. They had nothing. They knew nothing about the fact that this lion is chasing them. And they need to figure out a way to turn the tables on it and figure out a way to eat him before he eats you. That was what they worried about. All that other stuff was still just as complicated. All the biology still existed. All the biochemistry still happened. ATP was still being produced in every cell of their body. The little protein motors, like ATP synthase and enzymes, were spinning away, generating the ATP. All the reactions were occurring. The machinery was running. We were just passengers on the bus. Had no idea that there was even such a thing as a motor driving the bus, so low, and how that motor worked. But it worked. It didn't need us. It didn't need our supervision, our intervention, our manipulation. It didn't need it. It didn't want it. It was programmed over eons. It was alive because it worked. Because the instructions of other ancestors that didn't work did not make it. That is evolution. And if you look at it that way, you find that good reason for the advice that some of us give. The advice that's contrary to so many so many people give my advice, Kiltz's advice. Keep it simple. Don't manipulate. Don't test. Don't care about numbers. Don't care about macros. Don't do anything except eat the right food if you can figure out what that is. Figure out what's missing in the food and maybe supplement that. And I always talk about electrolytes being the most important of those because we can't live without electrolytes. You want to kill somebody faster than anything? You know what they inject into people? You know what they inject into people to kill them on death row? The final coup de grace of that series of injections that they give people? It's potassium chloride. Potassium chloride will stop your heart in a second in a big enough dose. Interestingly enough, you run out of potassium chloride in your body, your heart will also stop in a second. Hence the need to regulate it. And that's what we have the chemistry for. Do you want to have to think and measure every day what your potassium levels are so your heart doesn't either blow up or just stop? No. We're not smart enough or fast enough. And we've just recently discovered this, and somehow, for 1 billion years or more, life has existed without us, or whatever it was, knowing. Stop interfering. Get the right nutrients is the message. I try to hammer it home to people. Don't test my blood. I don't care. I'll tell you when I don't feel good, and then we'll go about trying to figure out why. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Peter says, Cordelia just said, I hope that answers your question. Yes. I don't remember the original question, but I hope I answered it. I go off on these rants and rabbit holes. Keep it simple. I'm going to skip my blood test and physical this year. Honest. I made that decision. I had one coming up in January. So I was going for my annual. But I just had a stroke and I had all those tests. And I had all these idiot doctors looking at me. And I've already discounted their idiot advice. And I'm doing okay. And I feel pretty good. Why should I subject myself to another idiot doctor trying to scare me into spending my money letting him cut me up or prescribe drugs? No, thank you. I've declared my independence. So I'm going to skip a year. Maybe the year after that. And maybe I'll skip that year too if I'm feeling okay. There's no need to take your car into the shop every 2 weeks if it's running good. There's a certain schedule of preventive maintenance. Change your oil every 15,000 miles. Don't change it every 1,000 miles. You don't need to. The advice is always the advice that leads towards you spending more money. At any rate, Cordelia asked a question about protein-sparing modified fasting. Okay. Cordelia. I don't care. The word fasting to me means one thing. Fasting means you don't put food in your body. I can understand water fast, but any fast that involves eating anything is not a fast. It's a strategy. I think that would have been much better off if we never heard the words macros. I think we would have been much better off if we stopped trying to outsmart 1 billion years of evolutionary programming and take control of it. I think we'd be better off if we stopped trying to be in charge of our metabolism and went back to the only power that we really had, and that was, what do we eat? we already know from so much archaeology, anthropology, and common sense what our ancestors ate. And I think the safest bet for us is to conclude that if we eat fatty meat, bacon and eggs, and animal products without trying to fine-tune it to the point of having to measure every food we eat on a gram scale and figure out exactly how many grams of fat and how many grams of protein, I don't think the average person has to deal with that unless there's something wrong. Now we have a choice. We can go to a doctor and let them prescribe a drug, or we can go to people who figured out a way to use diet to work through a medical problem. And we do have medical problems. So I'm not saying that a protein-sparing modified fast may not be helpful for some condition, but what are you trying to accomplish? I think we're overcomplicating this stuff. And I don't want to spend what time I spend talking on YouTube. The most scientific I've gotten so far is my little leucine regimen, because it made sense to me. And it solves a particular purpose. Sarcopenia in aging adults, of which I am one. So there may be something to it. Maybe the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm going to leave it up to the Andrew Hubermans, the Dave Aspreys, and all of these people that continually give us advice of spending X number of seconds every day with our toes in the grass, of grounding ourselves to the earth, of hot and cold plunges, of blue glasses and orange glasses and red light therapy. And basically, I'm not interested. I think it does more harm than good. It gives people more reasons to buy shit, trying to hack what should take care of itself normally if only you could quit the carbs and sugars, stop eating the poisonous plants, find the best meat you can eat, and realize and finally come to terms with the fact that you're not going to live forever. And enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. And stop worrying about, if you don't do this, life's going to be no good. You don't do that. That's my advice to you. Maybe absolutely wrong for you. I don't know. But I don't do it. I don't give a damn what a protein-sparing modified fast is. To me, the word fast means you don't eat. The benefits of a fast are obvious. Your body gets a chance to rebuild. You give your digestive system. Do I want to do 20-day fasts? No. There's no benefit for me doing a fast. I do a fast one day, maybe. 24 hours. 36 if I'm busy and don't get a chance to eat. But I fast every day for 18, 19 hours. Every day. I'm not going to live forever. I doubt that any of this carnivore stuff is really going to extend anybody's lifespan. I think it will extend your health span. But this pipe dream of people living to be 130, 150, immortal, who would want to? Who would want to? Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Aaron says, if I could turn back time, yeah, we all have that regret. If I knew then what I know now. They've written songs about that. What time is it? 8:19. Wow, I did it. Always run over. Still got 100 people hanging in here, which is not bad. On a Friday. I constantly in my quest, and it's really kind of self-defeating too, because in my effort to look for something that I might talk about that might be meaningful and helpful to people, I always look for ways to simplify things. But the problem with simplifying things is there's so much less to say. When you complicate things, you got excuses to make videos. When you keep simplifying things, you have less and less to talk about until you just say, you get you get to the ultimate conclusion. 2 words. Forget everything else, just eat meat. I think it's important that we get adequate fat, but nature takes care of that too. If you eat eggs, the fat comes with them. If you eat bacon, plenty of fat. If you eat beef, there's fat in beef. Even leaner cuts have fat, but you can add butter. So just make sure you get enough fat. There's a very simple way to tell if you're getting enough fat or not. You don't need to count them, weigh them, do all that shit. Shit is where the answer is. If you're constipated, eat more fat. You have diarrhea, eat less fat. Period. End of story. If you pee dark yellow, drink more water. If you pee crystal clear, you're drinking too much water. Easy. Every gauge. How do you feel? How do you feel? That's the biggest thing. You have energy? And we found as carnivores that we do simple things. Eat fatty red meat, eat eggs, eat bacon, eat butter. Avoid all plants. Avoid sugars, not just added sugars. That's just a marketing propaganda hype. No added sugars. Well, I'm sorry, you take a bowl of cornflake, it's all sugar, 100% sugar. How can you claim no added sugars? Who cares? Sugar is sugar. If you were drowning in 10 feet of water and couldn't stand on the bottom, and somebody else came and poured another 55-gallon of drum water over the top of the 10 feet of water that you're already in, and they claim that they didn't kill you because there was no added water, you're going to be just as dead. That's what they do with this no added sugar. And they manage to figure, the rocket scientists that make the rules that the FDA uses for the labeling and the USDA have gone out of their way to make them as misleading, and have got every last bit of their propaganda built into them. Right on down to what you have to comply with, to use the term cage-free, pasture-raised, grass-fed. They have complicated it to the point where no human being has the time, most of them not the intellect, to actually understand and keep up with regulating their own body's chemistry. We come along as carnivores and say, it's so simple, so simple. You know what to eat? Make sure you get enough fat. Here's how you tell if you're getting enough fat. Here's how you tell if you need electrolytes. Your legs cramp up at night so bad you can't move. Yeah, that's a good clue. Your heart stops beating. Another good clue. Stay out of it. Keep it simple. Pretend you're a caveman. I never heard of any of these things yet. Yet you stood a better chance of living. The dangers are more. You know, you die of gangrene from a broken bone. So, yes, they didn't have the advantages of modern medicine, but it's out of control right now. And there's no shortage of people. All these brilliant scientists like Andrew Huberman who are making videos and telling you what you need to buy to take charge of your own physiology and monitor everything, wire yourself up to this and that. And I used to have a lot of respect for Huberman, and he's a brilliant guy. But there is the fact that he was making a fortune pushing green powder AG1 on us for so many years. And if he's that brilliant, how could he not have known that he was contributing to the poisoning of the people that were paying $100 a month for a bag of this crap? So, who do you believe? I don't know. I just observe it and have an opinion. I could be wrong. I'm the first to admit that. At any rate, I think that's enough for today. I think that's enough. It's Friday. I'm looking forward to just stopping, taking a few days off. I'm in a great mood. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I'm sure I missed the questions. Meathead says, question, your body's smarter than any doctor. Yes. Oh, man. Absolutely. These guys are not smart. They're parrots. They're programmed. They're monkeys. Like an organ grinder. You see somebody out there, you run up to them and hold out your hand, they'll put a quarter in your hand, you bring it back to me. That's what they are. Rick says, is Mitch going to be there Sunday morning? I will be here. I'll be there Sunday morning, back to normal. Everything's back to normal. Whatever normal might be for me. I'll be here Sunday. I'm going to take tomorrow off. Probably put out a video of some kind tomorrow. Everybody's about, I think they're getting tired of me today, about ready to drop out. I've been all over the place today. Thank you. Thanks for playing, guys. We'll do it again. I know I missed a lot of questions, but I tried to keep up. Maybe take a ride to the post office. Yes. I got to notice that with my post office. Remember, I got to get it's a road trip for me to go pick something up. So yes, John, I got a message. It said it should come yesterday, but the post office has screwed me over more times already. Because just because it got to the post office doesn't mean they got around to actually putting it up and putting notice in my post office box and a key that you need to go get your package in this particular locker. And I've had to make 3 trips back and stand in line and have them go hunting for it. And I usually give it 2 or 3 days after that says it's been delivered before I waste my time. I run over there only to find out that they haven't gotten to it yet. Thank you very much. So I know it's there. I should be in my box. I have an errand to run tomorrow, and I'm thinking about going over there and trying to pick it up tomorrow. It should be available to me. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for reminding me. Peter says, Mitch, I don't think you missed any questions today. I sent all the questions that I saw to you. Thank you, Peter. Peter, appreciate the help, my friend. You're not fired yet. Don't see a reason to. And see, people are thanking Peter. Yeah, I think Peter's going to be a help to me. Tracking said delivered. Yeah, it does. P.O. Box Melbourne. It says that it was delivered because it was addressed to a P.O. Box. I've fallen into that trap, John. I've fallen into that trap where just because it was addressed to a P.O. Box, when the post office gets it, the received notice goes out, but it's still sitting in a pile waiting for one of the employees to find it and actually physically place it in a temporary locker, take the key to that locker, put it in my P.O. box. Every time I've gone to the post office to pick up a package that said it was delivered, it was not there. I ended up instigating a search where they turned the whole post office upside down, and I was told in no uncertain terms You can't push us. When it says delivered, it doesn't mean it's in your box yet. So I said, okay, I just want to know what the rules are. But that may be there. But you think about what I got to go through after this stroke to go out, get in the car, drive over there. It's too much walking at the post office for me to do without support. So I have to get the walker out of the car, go into the post office, and if it's not there, I got to stand in line for an hour or two to get somebody's attention to go institute a search. I'm not physically up to that yet. I'm recovering, but I'm not ready for that. So I'm going to give it a couple days. And thank you so much for whatever it is. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to try for it tomorrow. So we'll see. And on Sunday morning, whatever it is, if I got it, it's going to be front and center, unless it's embarrassing. But we'll see. We'll see. So, a little happy music for you. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. Thank you, Peter. Look at all you people. Still got 96 people here. Wow. Listen, you all have a great Friday. Have a great tomorrow. I will probably pop into Rick's place in the morning. See you all there. See you tomorrow, maybe. Yes, Rick. I'll probably be in, come in for a little while in the morning. I don't know yet. Depends. I might go to the post office tomorrow morning and see what happens. Charlie Faircloth, have a blessed day, everyone. Yes, sir. Abiding you. There it is. The music. Mitch is always welcome. Thank you, Rick. Yes, sir. Everybody's saying goodbye. So I suppose it's time for me to do the same. Thanks again so much. Let me make one last buy me a coffee check. Yes, look at that. Got one more. Don't want to miss anybody. Let's see here. No, don't have one more. Jeff Johnson, Gary, Francine B, Kurt, Meathead, Ketone Seeker, Juliet twice. Thank you so much, everybody. If I missed anybody, I will respond personally anyway, and thank you. Until Sunday morning, unless I see you somewhere else in my travels, you'll take the rest of the day off. Keep it simple and eat meat.